Hey, Alex Miller, a Capian here. I'm with Jack Phillips. How you doing, Jack?
I'm doing well.
We'd like to show you some cool data loss prevention tricks you can do with Ghost PII. And we're going to start by showing you a dashboard here you can use to control what kind of people in your organization have what kind of abilities with the data. And then we're going to show you a couple of Jupyter notebooks of things that look a little bit like real work and try to explain some of the things that are unique about the kind of control and auditability we can provide. So first off, Jack, do you want to tell us a little bit about this dashboard everybody sees? What does it do? Where is it running right now? What are the things in these two panes and how do they relate to the Jupyter notebooks we're going to see in a minute?
Yes, absolutely. So up here, we have a list of data objects that we have encrypted. We as the admins have control of this, and we can assign whatever kind of permission levels to different wings of our company. The bottom page here is a request list where we can monitor all the different requests that have been made on these data objects by our different teams. And we can see whether those were approved or denied. Now here we have three levels: lax, which will allow people to decrypt the data; standard, which allows them to do record linkage but not decrypt; and strict, which does not allow them to do anything. Now, if we go over here, we can see we have a notebook representing our engineering team that, since they have full permission, they can run, they can decrypt. Same goes for the data scientists. They have all the ability to do whatever kind of record linkage they want, and they can decrypt here at the bottom, as you'll see in a few seconds. But these kind of permissions are not permanent. The moment we want to come over and revoke some permissions, we can do that. You'll see some of our clustering algorithm popping up here in a dendrogram in just a few seconds. And it'll confirm that our stuff has worked. And yes, we could decrypt. But we can come over here and let's change this to standard, which allows our people to link records but not decrypt. Come over here, see we can still compute a checksum, and we get kicked back to the login page on our decrypt. And
Yeah, and so just to point something out here, it looks like that engineering user was allowed to do a particular kind of work. They were able to get a particular non-sensitive bit of insight about what was in that data, but then not the data underneath. Is that correct? And how does that work? What's really going on under the hood here?
That's absolutely true. So what we have going on under the hood is our API is able to compute specific keys for specific computational tasks. It does not give the decrypt keys to do any kind of computation. And it checks against this permission list that we control right here, whether or not any given user is able to request a certain key. So our API decides whether or not you're allowed to get the keys, and if you are, it sends them back to you. If not, you are stonewalled and you have no access to the underlying data.
Yeah, and then how does this? Where is this running in terms of infrastructure, and how tight is it to that particular setup?
So right now we have both the client and the API running under GCP. Using our saved instances, it's very easy to set up your own client or your own instance of Ghost PII, our API, right in GCP, and do all of your work from there. And you can control all of this kind of key generation in-house.
So to recap a few things, this is a system you could stand up in any cloud environment, or you could even serve it over the web in a similar way. And users anywhere they can access a web API could get this functionality. The dashboard we showed allows you to set in detail what kind of permissions people do and don't have, and then to see what kind of work they're doing. And then finally, what's really unique to this is you can give people permissions in between being able to see and use the data wholesale and not being able to do anything with it in the form of computing things like checksums and linking records and doing statistics. And in general, enabling people to do a lot of the work they need to do day to day without the risk of actually seeing the underlying data.